Guys, Effie here. Today I'm going to make this set of cards using a combination of our folk art Christmas tree stamp set and our Christmas vintage block set, which will be coming later in this video. So I'm going to start off with the folk art Christmas tree, and I'm going to do some ombre stamping, and I'll be using my mini Misti to help me get this beautiful gradient effect using a combination of our couture color inks. Now, it is easier if you have the mini inks, but you can still use the regular size stamp pads if you have. So for my first card, I'm going to use our Ruby Collection mini inks. So that's our Red Sangria hybrid ink, which is the darkest in this collection. Then I went with the Soft Garnet Rose Quartz. After I finished the three, I added a little bit of a deeper red to the top tip of my tree for a little bit of contrast and interest. Now look how beautiful this ombre looks, and I'm just going to show you again using a mint color palette. Now after you apply each layer of color, you just want to dab away at the edges of the ink on the stamp so that you get a smoother gradient. This technique is so fun to try because you get to break out all your different colored inks and you get to experiment with your colors. You don't have to stick to one family of colors. You can use different colors, and I'll show you that when I create using the Christmas vintage block later on. But for the tree, I just stuck with the same color palette, or I guess family. So after I finished my ombre stamping, I took the coordinating die for this tree stamp and I die cut all three of my ombre trees. I stamped the purple tree off camera just because I didn't think you needed to see the process once again. So next I took our modern plaid red rubber background stamp and I gold heat embossed it onto some colored cardstock. All my cardstock panels are A2 size, and I chose darker hued cardstocks just because I thought that they would show up really nicely with the gold embossing, and it would really make an impact behind my ombre trees. So once I finished embossing all of these beautiful panels, I took the largest die from our double stitch rectangles large die collection and I die cut all three A2 panels. And what this largest die in the collection does, it just adds stitching to the edges of your A2 panel, and it just gives it a really polished feel to your card. Next, I'm just going to mount all of my plaid panels onto some side folding A2 card bases. Then I popped up all of my trees onto their coordinating card bases using some dimensional foam tape. Once my trees were on the bases, I took our holiday add-on banner sentiment set and I just used one sentiment for all three cards. I stamped it 3 times onto white cardstock, and then I just cut them into narrow strips and popped them right onto my card, and that completes this set of cards. These are gorgeous, easy, and fun to make. So now I'm going to show you how I made my next batch of cards using our vintage Christmas block stamp set. The technique is the same, so I'm going to speed up the second half of this video, but I just wanted to show you how I stamped this first card because I chose different colors and different color families, but they all blended really nicely into each other. I use our Iris Blooms, Cobalt Breeze, and Bright Emerald, and then I added a little bit of a darker ink to the top and bottom portions. I use Violet Fringe and Hot Tourmaline for the top and bottom portions for that little bit of contrast. And you can see how beautifully blended all these colors go together. So I just wanted to show you that you don't have to stick with the one color family. You can see in this background I created a reddish pink version using the same block stamp. So once all my stamping was complete, I just trimmed the panels, adhered them onto some top folding card bases, and then I stamped the sentiment from the same Christmas vintage block set in our lipstick red and true navy dye inks, and then I trimmed the sentiment labels out and popped them up, and voila, these cards are complete. Here are 5 cards using one technique, and you get some pretty different but beautiful results. I hope you enjoyed today's projects and videos. If you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because I update it on a weekly basis. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.